Based on her one-woman show of the same name, Fleabag is the brainchild of writer-actress Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Hair is everything. We wish it wasn't, so we can actually think about something else occasionally, but it is.
From the man behind Hot Priest to Waller-Bridge's real-life inspirations, here's everything you need to know about this Emmy-winning show. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was the Emmy-winning awards series Fleabag. The television show is inspired by Phoebe Waller-Bridge's one-woman show of the same name, and in its earliest form, it was just a 10-minute comedic monologue. Waller-Bridge told the Los Angeles Times that Fleabag originated as a favor to her friend Deborah Frances White, who needed to fill an empty 10-minute slot at a comedy show. As Waller-Bridge explained, Deborah had been trying to get me to do stand-up for ages, and I was like, no, and she tricked me with this one. Of course, the monologue was far from a traditional stand-up set, and the audience was utterly floored by her performance. At the insistence of her friends, Waller-Bridge expanded the piece into a full-length play, as she told the Los Angeles Times. Before I knew it, we had a venue at Edinburgh's Fringe Festival. I didn't really have a choice. It was the best kind of bullying for my friends ever. As for what inspired her to write her character, Waller-Bridge told The Cut in 2017, "The thing I really got off on was putting a female character out there that was all-knowing about sex and one step ahead, who knew what the guys were thinking before they thought it, and yet still played slightly dumb to them. Oh God, it brought me so much pleasure."
Hey. And then you get to it immediately.
In Fleabag's second season, actor Andrew Scott utterly charmed audiences with his memorable portrayal of a priest who falls head over heels in love with our titular hero. And much like Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character, we never learn his proper name. Instead, he's only known as the priest, or as some fans affectionately call him, Hot Priest.
I believe God meant for me to love people in a different way. I believe I'm supposed to love people as a father.
As Waller-Bridge revealed at the Television Critics Association in January 2019, she wrote the character specifically for Scott. The actors became close while co-starring in the 2009 play Roaring Trade. Waller-Bridge told Vanity Fair, "It couldn't have been anyone else. He's just a magical human being. He can't do anything other than be really complex and truthful in a character. So I knew that the moment I gave this character to him in my imagination, he became real." According to Scott, the on-screen chemistry came naturally. He told Vanity Fair, "I certainly found it extremely easy to play loving Phoebe because I love her as a person." The relationship between Fleabag and her tightly wound sister Claire is relentlessly entertaining to watch. Despite their many differences, the sisters truly love each other, and the actresses who play them, Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Sean Clifford, are incredibly close in real life.
Just don't talk too much or try to pretend you know anything about the company.
Okay.
And don't be funny or clever or just don't be the center of attention. These people are very important to me.
Clifford and Waller-Bridge met while studying at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London. As Clifford explained to Grazia Daily in 2019, "We made a sort of silent commitment that we would help each other out. We've backed each other all the way. I mean, I'm only here now because my friend fought a very hard battle to get me an audition." In a 2019 Build series interview, Clifford said,
"I don't know that I'll ever have the kind of creative freedom that I have with Phoebe just because of the way that we just trust each other so much."
While packed with plenty of jokes, the overarching theme of Fleabag's first season is no laughing matter. When viewers first met the protagonist, she's in the throes of grief, having recently lost both her beloved mother and her best friend, Boo.
You need to be nicer to Hillary, you need to get a new hat.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's a bit.
Throughout the first season, the audience gets to know Boo through flashbacks, which showcase the special bond between the two women and slowly reveal the events that ultimately led to Boo's tragic death. As Phoebe Waller-Bridge told NPR in 2016, Boo was inspired by Vicky Jones, her real-life best friend and collaborator. She explained that, "When I found Jones and we found our friendship, I just suddenly felt so much more invincible in the world." She also revealed that Fleabag's plot was inspired by her biggest fear, losing the person that makes her feel strong. She claimed, "That informed a lot of it, and just seeing things that I loved in my life and imagining if I wasn't lucky enough to have them, kind of sadomasochistic, really." Waller-Bridge told The Pool that Fleabag is partly a celebration of the sensibility she shares with Jones.
And to play with a humour that we really respond to personally, and basically it was our humour, and I basically wrote the first 10 minutes to make Vicky laugh.
Fleabag is a story told solely through the eyes of its main protagonist. Wherever she goes, the audience follows, and she's featured in every single scene in the series. But curiously, the character is never addressed by her name. Waller-Bridge initially couldn't think of a name that suited the character, and eventually the writer-actress fell in love with the idea of keeping that name a secret. In 2017, she told Vanity Fair, "I liked the idea of withholding some of that mystery." As Waller-Bridge explained to the Los Angeles Times, Fleabag was, in fact, her own nickname. "It was my family nickname as far back as I can remember." Waller-Bridge's nickname happened to fall perfectly in line with the character she'd created. As she told Vanity Fair, "That word Fleabag, that felt right, because there's a messy connotation to it. Judging by this Vogue interview, her working habits are on the messy side too."
What 3 words describe your writing process?
Panic, panic, hope.
Here's a bombshell for you. There was one particular scene in the Fleabag stage play that network executives simply wouldn't let her include in the television series. As Vice reports, the original Fleabag script featured a scene in which Fleabag kills Hillary, Boo's beloved pet guinea pig.
I don't feel anything about guinea pigs. They're pointless.
That's because the animal is a painful reminder of her dead best friend, Boo, making the very sight of Hillary too difficult to bear. In the stage play, Fleabag tells the audience, "I hold her to me tighter until I feel her bones crack against me and her chattering stop." Well, it sounds like that didn't sit too well with television execs. Waller-Bridge told the New Statesman, "When they commissioned the pilot, the one thing they said was, 'You can do anything you want, but you can't kill the guinea pig.' I wanted to kill it, but they just said, 'We just don't think that you strangling a guinea pig to death.'" Of course, that darkness is at least partly by design. As Waller-Bridge explained to the New Statesman, "I'm obsessed with that line between crying and laughing. I'm always feeling that temptation to twist the knife. When you've got a disarmed audience, I'm like, get them in the heart." So it's something that's fascinated me for ages. The story checks out. Fleabag's first season didn't happen to receive any recognition from the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, though it was extremely well received by critics. In 2016, the New York Times observed that Fleabag doesn't quite feel like anything else on television. Meanwhile, a review in GQ UK read, "It's dirty, it's sexy, it's disgusting, it's hilarious, and it's about being a girl, as in a real girl. Scared? You should be." Although the first season was a critical darling, Phoebe Waller-Bridge initially didn't plan to bring Fleabag back for a second season. After all, the first season had closely followed the arc of her one-woman show, and it wrapped up nicely with a somewhat happy ending for the main character. In August 2019, she told Jimmy Fallon on The Tonight Show that,
And I was very smug about not coming back because I thought I had a lot of artistic integrity in not coming back after the first one. Because the first season had a proper ending in my mind.
As Waller-Bridge explained to the Los Angeles Times, she decided to start working on a second season after Fleabag director Harry Bradbeer posed the question, "Is there anything left for her to learn?" For Waller-Bridge, the answer was a resounding yes. Good thing, too. Fleabag's second season garnered a total of 11 Emmy nominations. As Waller-Bridge said while hosting SNL in 2019,
"Back in the day, horny women were to be feared, and now they're given Emmys."
If you fancy yourself a Fleabag fan, you'll be happy to know you're in some good and very famous company. According to the Irish News, several celebs checked out an August 2019 performance of Fleabag at London's Wyndham's Theatre. As the publication reported, Waller-Bridge's performance was met with uproarious applause. Oscar winner Rami Malek was standing clapping in the stalls as Waller-Bridge mouthed, "Oh my God, thank you," to the West End audience. In September 2019, a Fleabag audience member snapped photos of pop queen Taylor Swift at another one of Waller-Bridge's Wyndham's Theatre performances. As it turns out, Swift is a total Waller-Bridge fangirl, as evidenced by her excitement over appearing on the same Saturday Night Live episode as the Fleabag creator and star. Who wouldn't want to share a stage with her?
"I told my housemate, I think you might be a psychopath." And he responded immediately with, "I have empathy."
Clearly unable to contain her excitement, Swift tweeted in August 2019, "Ever since I saw Fleabag, I've been all, I can't wait to see this woman host SNL, and it's happening now, plus I get to be there too, equals I am in shambles." Actress Olivia Colman, who won an Oscar in 2019 for her portrayal of Queen Anne in the 2018 film The Favourite, co-stars in Fleabag as the protagonist's delightfully unnerving, almost impossibly passive-aggressive godmother.
I'd only need a couple of sittings.
Right, can't use photos?
No, because the lighting's never good enough, and if you're not very photogenic, then it does you no favours.
Adding to the drama, this formidable woman also began a romantic relationship with Fleabag's father shortly after her mother's death. Fans of Colman and Phoebe Waller-Bridge might already know that Fleabag isn't the first show they've appeared in together. The two actresses also worked with one another on the second season of the British crime drama Broadchurch. It's an entirely different beast.
Your Honour, sorry, can I just ask for the indictment to be put again?
Be a man, Joe! You know what happened! Sit down!
Apparently, Colman is quite a fan of Waller-Bridge, telling Entertainment Weekly, "She's extraordinary, and it's a pleasure to say anything that she's written." So when she heard Waller-Bridge was developing a television series based on her hit one-woman show, the Oscar winner naturally wanted to be involved. Colman revealed to Entertainment Weekly, "I think I begged Phoebe to be in it when she was writing the first season. I always wanted to play the baddie, and she's written a really good one." Fleabag's second season was widely praised by critics and audiences alike, but the most talked about episode was, without a doubt, the Season 2 premiere. In its glowing review, the AV Club wrote, "The premiere is an early frontrunner for best episode of the season, if not the series." Meanwhile, IndieWire wrote that the Fleabag awkward family dinner is a cinematic comedy masterpiece. But setting aside the comedic talents of Waller-Bridge and Fleabag's ensemble cast, the real star of the Season 2 premiere might have been a jumpsuit.
Sounds like a riot.
In Episode 1, Fleabag wears a sleeveless black jumpsuit with a halter neck, keyhole cutout, and open back. After stylists reported that this jumpsuit could be purchased for £38 from online retailer Silkfred, the item completely sold out in one day. Fortunately, Love, the London label behind the jumpsuit, was eager to match supply with demand. According to The Guardian, the brand quickly put another 500 jumpsuits into production. Well, let's just go ahead and call the jumpsuits a bona fide pop culture phenomenon. Despite her massive sweep at the 2019 Emmys, Phoebe Waller-Bridge has no plans of bringing Fleabag back for a third season, and it seems like the writer-actress is pretty set in her decision. That said, she's careful to never say never. Asked by The Hollywood Reporter if anything could convince her to delve back into Fleabag's life, she replied, "I feel like it's done, but I do have a fantasy of bringing her back when I'm like 45 or 50. She further explained on the idea in an interview with Seth Meyers.
And actually seeing like a character like that in a later stage of life, I think is exciting. But I think for now, she's been through enough.
Yeah, she is.
We gotta let her go.
Discussing Fleabag's incredible journey through the course of the series, the star added, "She started as someone who sort of hated herself and ended up as someone believing that she could love again and forgive herself. I have to respect that arc and let her go and live for a bit." Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more The List videos about your favorite stuff are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.